Angel Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salary and benefit.
Angel Reese just stepped into the WNBA, and almost instantly she's already talking about going on strike. That's like landing a job at McDonald's, burning the fries right off the bat, and then demanding a promotion to regional manager. Apparently, she believes that making demands works better than making baskets, because scoring certainly isn't her strong suit right now. She's barely set foot in the league and already thinks she's entitled to flip the entire WNBA on its head, conveniently ignoring the fact that the league itself has been barely hanging on for 27 years, mostly kept afloat by the NBA's loose change.
Y'all did it.
Yeah, the CBA is coming up. I can't wait.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Of course,
everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we gotta get paid the consequences.
What?
Damn, we gotta get it up.
Y'all gotta deal with something. Y'all gotta do something.
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year, or because the ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract again. Mm-hmm. The ones the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
No, they are.
I'm hurt.
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
I need to get in the. I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the meetings.
I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
Let's take a step back. Reese complained that her WNBA salary doesn't even cover rent. Heartbreaking, right? $74,000 a year, and she's acting like she's scraping by like an up-and-coming artist in Brooklyn. Never mind that she was pocketing over $1.8 million in college just for being on camera. Now that she actually has to play basketball for a paycheck instead of signing shoes and shouting period on social media, it's somehow a crisis. The level of delusion here could practically apply for statehood.
So they're upset, they want to get paid. Possibility, Reese has been vocal about her low WNBA salary, revealing her $74,000 a year salary doesn't cover rent, stating on Instagram Live, I just hope you know that the WNBA doesn't pay my bills at all. I don't even think they pay one of my bills. Reese's financial struggles stem from WNBA salary not matching her past earnings, as her NIL valuation at LSU was $1.8 million, bolstered by deals with Reebok, PlayStation, McDonald's, and Coach, while a 4-year rookie deal was $324,000 with $74,000 due next season. She quipped, hating pays them bills, baby, noting break. I can't read this.
Meanwhile, Patrick Bet David, calmly sipping from a cup of cold reality, dismantled the entire victim mentality with the accuracy of a guided missile. Angel's argument, emotions. Patrick's response, numbers. Turns out the WNBA's revenue is on par with a community car wash and bleeds $50 million annually. But hey, let's just bump up the salaries. Why not? Maybe we'll finance it with wishful thinking or motivational posters.
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
The WNBA is what happens when you blend activism, entitlement, and a business plan stuck in the late 90s. It's like watching someone desperately push a failed trend, only instead of quitting, they just crank up the volume annually. Walkouts, complaints, pay hikes. Listen, maybe try winning a few games first. Or here's a thought. How about hitting more than 25% of your shots before declaring the league's demise?
They were demanding chartered flights, private airfare. The diva of dump divas, Kat Engelbert, she borrowed some weakness from Adam Silver and she acquiesced to these unreasonable demands. Knowing her beloved dump could not afford it. When the WNBA approved chartered flights, I told you guys that it would not be enough. You see, the thing about entitlement, you can never satisfy the perceived need. Once you give in to entitlement, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of unreasonable demands. Entitled people, they are experts at recognizing weakness, which is why Adam Silver and Kat Engelbert are constantly being taken advantage of. When the WNBA approved chartered flights, I told you guys that their next demand, it was going to be focused on their minimum wage salaries. Us normal people, myself included.
Here's a reality check. The WNBA is essentially the NBA's financially dependent little sibling, surviving off $10 to $12 million a year just to keep the lights on. Angel talking about a strike is like a potted plant vowing to pack up and leave. Honestly, the NBA wouldn't just survive a strike. They'd likely celebrate, cracking open champagne for a summer without bleeding money.
Years, we look at this situation and realize WNBA players, they don't have any leverage. Hell, they are lucky they're not having to pay to participate in this league. They are lucky to be receiving their minimum wage salaries. Anytime you're going into negotiations, the side with the most leverage, they usually win. Right now, there are rumors of a potential strike in Major League Baseball. Captain Doofus Rob Manfred,
Here's where irony meets reality. Some WNBA players are fuming. Fuming that Caitlin Clark has become the league's new face. The same Caitlin Clark who's literally keeping them employed by selling out arenas, increasing viewership by 170%, and skyrocketing merchandise sales by 600%. That's right. WNBA players seem so averse to progress that they resent the one person actually making money. It's like a sinking ship criticizing the lifeboat for being too noticeable. Apparently, some league veterans missed the crucial point. You don't bite the hand that's paying your bills, especially when that hand is giving the entire league a pulse. Caitlin Clark isn't just scoring points. She's breathing life into a league that's been on the verge of collapse for years. And her reward? Cold stares, hard fouls, and an odd, almost cult-like bitterness from players who should be sending her thank you notes and bouquets.
Years later, they got a team there, number one. Number two, when Caitlin Clark came into the league, they left the arena they normally play in and had to go to an NBA venue because they were selling out. When Caitlin Clark was going to other cities, they were changing the venue they would play in because they were going to larger venues.
You'd assume that packed arenas and national media attention would be celebrated. But no, some WNBA veterans are reacting to Caitlin's rise as if it's an invasion rather than a revival. Instead of viewing her as an ally in the battle for relevance, they perceive her as a challenge to their fragile pride and waning fame, and that's where the resentment takes root. Not because Caitlin did anything wrong, but because she's doing everything right. Let's be real, the WNBA has never experienced this kind of hype. The league has spent years begging for attention, struggling for airtime, and attempting to prove its significance. Then Caitlin shows up, just out of college, and boom, they're suddenly the biggest draw. Rather than welcoming the momentum, some players are behaving as if she stole their water bottle and parked in their reserved spot.
Well, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever this season. The WNBA announced the team will be nationally televised in 41 out of their 44 regular season games.
There's no rational reason to resent someone boosting your relevance. But when pride outweighs reason, logic takes a back seat. Rather than capitalizing on Caitlin's fame, some players are fixated on tearing it down, throwing shade in interviews, taking cheap shots during games and acting like it's high school drama. It's practically a lesson in self-destruction, so what's the real issue? It's not just about basketball, it's about status. It's the sudden, uncomfortable truth that someone younger, more dynamic, and undeniably more marketable has taken the spotlight they assumed was theirs. Caitlin didn't just change the play, she flipped the entire hierarchy. And some simply can't accept that shift. But here's the irony. If they were smart, they'd all benefit. They could harness the Caitlin Clark phenomenon to secure bigger salaries, better sponsorships, and finally earn the league-wide respect they've always wanted. Instead, they're more focused on dragging down the one player actually keeping the ship afloat.
4 on CBS, I think 5 or 6 on Amazon Prime. I think they have the most on NBA TV. But nevertheless, that goes to show you who's the face of the league, guys. This year, these networks with this new deal in the CBA, they knew coming into the season they had to showcase the Indiana Fever more than any other team. Now, what would cap it off more?